the crucial thing here is that if you have to deal with poverty elimination, you have to have a people-centered approach. And when I look at the modernization in China, for instance, I see that the main essence in this modernization is that you put people about capital, and you put the community in the center, and you want to have a welfare society, well-being, and not a kind of income poverty spread out on everybody. So that's a kind of the essence for me of Chinese modernization. And that's the way, the path you have to follow if you want to eliminate poverty. We all know that China has eliminated absolute poverty some years ago, but that's not the same as to say that poor living conditions does not exist. Poor living conditions exist in China, and that's why you have to deal with it all the way. I read about the work going on in the People's National Congress, and I read about some of the measures or targets there which are being set there. For instance, that China targets to create 12 million new urban jobs this year. I also read that China still has an eye on the newly lifted out groups from poverty, that how to continue to work with these groups. So I think the elimination of poverty is an ongoing process in China, and I was very happy to see that this focus also exists in the two sessions. I think that the role of China must be seen in the context of today. The world today is multipolar, and in this world you have to coexist with all the different forces and poles emerging. The different zones of the world, you have to coexist, you have to collaborate, and you have to reduce the quest for competition, for war, and for tensions. That's the position of China. That's where I see the possibilities for China to play a very, very important role in the world. And for instance, protectionism, which is spreading these days. You see this trade war being waged very heavily these days. And the only way to avoid it is to make a multilateral cooperation. I saw at the materials from the two sessions something which struck me very much, because the transatlantic alliance, the NATO alliance, in these days are having a lot of armament race, in fact, and they are talking about making the expenditures for military and defense to a kind of 4 to 5% of the GDP, and they are pouring billions of dollars and euro into that. China only wants to defend itself and do not want to be an aggressive force in the world. And I think that is also one of the significant facts that must be not to be forgotten about China's role in the global cooperation.